Yo, 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 good morning, everybody. It's your boy Klue the motherfucking Don. Another episode of Black Ball Music Podcast. ThankFull Fridays. As y'all know, I'm here every Friday with the stank breath and the morning medicine. But today, I have a very, very special guest. Super excited when she reached out. I had to go through my request messages after I saw T Pain posted saying that he never checked his request messages on Instagram. He like missed hundreds of messages from like Drake and Michelle Obama and crazy shit. So I was like, you know what? Let me make sure that Barack is not trying to, do a collab and shit in my inbox. So I checked it, and I had a, not Barack, but the very best next thing. Very talented comedian from Atlanta, Georgia. I'll go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Hey y'all, I like that. I like that. CT Payne knew what he was doing, and hopefully he got more people to start doing that. Cause I'm like, y'all should not be this bad. Y'all ain't old, man. Come on now, y'all are young. Y'all should know. Like, how do you not see that? But anyway, Kendra Crump, aka the HNIC, because I am the head nigga in charge. I'm so much of the HNIC that's my Wi-Fi network name for
Okay.
now. But y'all still can't get the info. Because sometimes I don't even know what the passcode is, man. Somebody else in the house changed it. How'd you
Hey,
get my
listen.
info?
I'm trying to tell you, these days, don't nobody know what the passcode is because as soon as somebody try to get on your shit, Apple just be like, Clue's trying to get on your network, and you just got to hit OK. You ain't got to tell a nigga a password. You ain't got to have it on the refrigerator no more. It it just ain't the same. It just is not the same.
Yeah,
But
it's not. Have you ever had like a gangster Wi-Fi network name?
so not quite gangster ones, but I had ones that like fucked with people. Like, so I had two different Wi-Fi networks. So I called them FBI Van 1 and 2, and this is when I lived in the hood. So like I remember like
What hood was this? Call it out so I can go
uh,
because I'm ratchet. I like taking hood tours when I make it to a new city. What hood was this?
well, I don't want to necessarily tell you to go to this hood because I don't really know how it is anymore.
I
But
drive through. I don't get out and
yeah,
shoot dice with people. I do that in my own hood. What's the
you
name
know,
of the hood? Where's this located?
pull up on the west side of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on the
Okay,
west
cool. I'll
side.
be in Charlotte. I'll
Betty's
actually be in
Betty's
Charlotte
Ford.
next year. I'll be in Charlotte. I'm
Oh,
putting that in my calendar right now. Pull up on the west side of Charlotte.
West
Okay,
Charlotte.
cool.
Take a ride down Betty's Ford. Now, depending on what side of Betty's Ford you're gonna start on is depending on if you need to have your windows up or down.
So
Um,
Bettis, Bettis Ford, right?
Beaties. Betty's Ford. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Betty's Ford. And then, I mean, and if you go to Charlotte, you be like, "Yo, take me to the Ford." You might get a few, looks on your face, like, "Why the fuck would you want to go there?" But it's a beautiful place, all in the same. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
that is that where little baby? Not yeah. Is that where no the baby? Is that where the baby? That his stomping ground? Because rappers like that
Uh,
come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm from the worst part of town." Then you put a coattail like, bro, you are not from here.
so I can't speak too hard on me, speak too much on the baby, but from my understanding, he's more so from the Huntersville side, or that's where at least where he is. Now I don't. Like I said, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The baby got big after I've been removed from Charlotte for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
the baby got big after I left. So I'm not really too sure. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
That's
gonna pull. I ain't
you're
gonna.
the second man to say that. You're the second, and it was a. I feel. Are you? Would you consider yourself? So did you grow up in that area, or you had lived there for a short period of time?
I grew up in that area. I lived in
Okay.
Charlotte from around like I was about 4 to about 17 years old.
Okay, cool. So I was gonna say, are you a hood dude, street dude, or you just more like a regular dude, like grew up in the hood, but that's just not you're not a product of your environment?
I think that yeah, that latter part, because so I think the best explanation of me in Charlotte was Kendrick Lamar's "Good Kid, Mad City."
Mm-hmm.
I think that him being somebody, he always was like, I've never been unfamiliar to the gang violence or the gun shit or the drugs, but I just chose not to be a part of it. Now there was a time that I definitely, I was running with some niggas, and I was considering myself gang banging and all that shit, but I realized real quick that it just wasn't me. It wasn't me, and I
Oh,
wasn't making
go
any
ahead,
money.
go ahead now. Let me find out. So can I, if I since you out there down used to be down with the set because like you never really get out. So since you are still kind of down with the set, but not really. If I need somebody to beat up some people, I'm paying you because I'm kind of getting famous in these streets. I literally was gonna try to go my entire life without security because it's possible. Muhammad Ali never had security, but I'm a woman and I have a wagon, and y'all people like to touch for whatever reason. So
Yeah,
far it's
can't
been a
get the
lot
hell off the
more
wagon.
women than men. And when I
Oh,
react towards the women, I'm like, so what's up? They're like, oh, nothing, girl. I don't be going that way. So why are you touching me? What is wrong with you? Like,
you,
come on now. You know
hey,
what time it is.
some pretty brawly studs that would like probably be like security. Like, I mean, and it's not even necessarily that you would need necessarily a woman security guard to keep off women, but I think that just for PR and for legal purposes and for somebody not to come down the line later and say it was something inappropriate.
They're like,
I think that
Klue beat me up. And you have the video camera like you kept harassing both of us. So
you
basically,
know what I'm
so
saying.
what if it's some men? What if it's some men trying to, come after me? Because I can't fight like Muhammad Ali, unfortunately. That's why he was able to walk around with no security. So yeah, I might need you. Call the set. Call them
Call the
all
set.
and yes, call them all and and you guys can just because I think now look, let me at least pay y'all because some of these people in the gang members they ain't getting no money to nonprofit organization for them. I'm like, bro,
Hey,
like
and I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? Like, employ our black brothers and sisters that are in these
mhm.
gangs, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be protection and shit, because it's like, yeah, put their put their expertise to work. I feel like so many times, we reach out to, like, no shade on these brothers, but we reach out to the Nation of Islam, to be your security. Beyonce did it, that was cool. But it's like,
Really, I didn't know
imagine.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if she reached out to them. I ain't gonna say that, but I do know that there was like some type of performance, or there was something going on that they pulled up as a force to make sure that she wasn't fucked with, and I
Mhm.
respect that 10,000%. But just imagine if there was like 1,000 Bloods and Crips out there, like,
Mhm.
with they shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they could just like get along and be colorblind for a second, it should be crazy.
I mean, well, you know what? I did some history because again, like I said, I'm slightly ratchet, probably a little bit more than I think. I'm just downplaying
Slightly.
myself right now, but I know how to clean it up, honey. I know how to clean it up right now, right?
Okay, okay. You keep a
So
handkerchief. Go ahead.
so yeah, but I think what I did my research, and there used to be a time many decades back when they first started, the gangs over the LA gangs when it was
Mm-hmm.
just like two versus now it's like 1,000 different Bloods and 1,000 different Crips. I'm like, bro, y'all stop it, okay? I'm getting confused. I can't keep up with all y'all. So it used to
Hey,
be a time where what they did was the gangs were actually very it was a positive thing. Like it was like an
yeah,
honor in a
yeah.
way where it's like, okay, we started this gang to keep the bad people out, like,
Mm-hmm.
make sure the kids got to school, educate the kids about trying to do better. But when they put the drugs in our neighborhood, they saw we were being positive. They put the drugs in our neighborhood. That's when, shit went the way it went. And so with that being said, I feel like, a lot of people don't know the history behind it. I think these rappers, especially the ones that so many people look up to, they're like, hey, go ahead and join a gang. Yeah, I'm down with the set, but they don't know really what comes with that. Now, it's nothing positive about saying, hey, I'm part of whatever, because it's like what comes with it, the violence, the other type of,
Mm-hmm.
heinous things that you have to do and might be done to you as well, putting yourself in harm's way. And so I really want to go back to before they put the drugs in our neighborhood. I want to go back to how it originally was. And I have these big dreams. Like I always wanted to, I want to be able to see if I can get people who really want to be off the street off the street. I want to be able to help those and educate them, get people off drugs who really want to be off drugs. I want to be able to do that. Like that's always like I have like little goals like that in mind. I want
And
to
that's a
be
real
able
attainable
to
goal.
Yeah, I want to
That's,
be able to pay somebody's rent for 1 month, like a random person, even if you don't need it.
mhm.
Just for me, you can keep that money and go do something else with it. That's what I would like to do one day. So those are
I feel like
goals.
if there was more people out there that had a mindset like that, because understand, I'm very much so the same way. I'm always thinking about how I can try to do for somebody else, or do for the community, or do for like a group of people that are doing something but just need that extra push. Like, just I feel like, so going back to the whole like the gang thing. I think that like what you were saying, it started off as a positive thing, and then it just kind of it got turned on us, and we continued to kind of promote that narrative. And even when you said with music, I feel like every rapper that comes out these days, like eventually they're just doing their thing, but then all of a sudden they're either a Crip or a Blood. I feel like after you come out, when you release music and you get your first hit, you have like 6 months to become
Mm-hmm.
either a Crip or a Blood. And I don't know,
Well,
like,
who's actually the real Crips and real Bloods? How come? And again, this is going to sound like I'm not imputing violence on nobody or whatever, but it makes me wonder, like, why aren't they, trying to off these fake rappers like Lil Wayne? Wasn't he, or Birdman? I think Trick Daddy said one
uh,
day you a Crip, one day you a Blood.
yeah, I
Like,
mean,
but no, nobody, nothing has happened to Birdman. Nothing has happened to Tony Braxton unless they are, because I guess that's his beard. Anyway, like, bro, you know what? I got told about that, like that picture years ago, a few years back, regarding Lil Wayne and Birdman kissing each other, right? And then
I
here
literally
come
just
the
talked about that shit the other day.
wait, here come here comes some girls who are so in love with Lil Wayne. He ain't gay, that's his daddy. That's what they do. I said, what grown man do you know kisses another grown man in the mouth? Okay, like when
I
after
ain't
you
kissed my daddy
turn,
like that.
I was gonna say, once a young boy turns 3 years old, I believe that the father stops kissing his son in the mouth. I think that's like the age where fathers stop kissing their sons in the mouth. Same thing with mothers and daughters are a little bit different. When's the last time I kissed my mom? I mean, I don't know. Our relationship has been blah since I was a child, but maybe 4 or 5.
I mean, I get it, because I feel like that shit just. I mean, I feel like there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, granted, I don't have any children, but I've been around a lot of children, whether it been my family, or
Mm-hmm.
different people that I've been around, friends, people that I've dated, and I'm very careful when I talk about anybody's parenting or shit like that. But at the same time, there's just certain things that I just don't think are okay, and I feel like really for a man, or I mean yeah, a man or a woman, after a certain age, you don't kiss your child on the mouth no more. Like, so it's like to see two grown men doing it, it is kind of like, all right, I mean, that because at the time, we definitely were, this was years back, so the whole LGBTQ plus community was not, we just weren't in that area, right? Like, it was still
Mm-hmm.
frowned upon to be doing that shit. So, but then but then it was also like, but you're Little Wayne, so if you come out to be gay, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to do it, because you're on top of the world. Everybody will still be okay, but he didn't. What the fuck ever, and
And I
the
was just
whole.
about to say that. Do you feel like and I believe wholeheartedly in the Illuminati, aka the man. Do you feel
Oh
like
shit.
the man is the one who tells people, okay, come out? Because, it's a lot of rappers, entertainers, period, football players, people in that limelight. A lot of them are gay, and
Uh,
again, there's whoever gets you an orgasm off at night, that's on you. It doesn't matter. But my thing
mhm.
is, why is Diddy not going to actually admit he's gay? Come on now. Why
Oh
is
shit.
Bow Wow not admitting that he's gay? Soldier Boy? Let me tell you something. So there's this video. It's still on YouTube.
Oh
It's probably gonna be
shit.
there forever until people, try to get it taken down. It talked about, hip hop exposed. There was Kevin Hart, Diddy, Rick Ross. I'm telling you, you cannot, even though, like, for example, I like Rapper the Game. Actually, I always shout Rapper the Game's name out, every podcast that I go on, because he needs to respond back to my DM that's sent on April 19, 2020, 8:08 p.m. and April 19, 2021, 9:38 p.m. Okay,
Oh,
he needs to
geez.
respond back. All right.
Time stamp.
So with that, with that, because I know he be listening to you. Back to the story. So even though I have a crush on him, I'm not surprised if he done did homosexual acts or if he still has done it. Because I'm telling you, man, you cannot get that. He probably gonna be like, I don't even want to talk to this bitch. No, you gonna talk to me. Once I show you my fat ma, you gonna want to talk then. Back to the story. So you can't, I'm telling you the truth, you cannot get that famous without having to do something. And people need to realize that. They need to
So
understand that that's why I don't want to be famous. I just want to be well known.
and see
And there's a
that's the thing. I was
difference.
about to say, like, goddamn, because I'm so there's that thin line because I'm glad you said that. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm just trying to be well known because I can really give a fuck less about I'm not trying to be at the Met Galas and I'm not trying to be at all this crazy shit. Like I don't care about being well, at least in front of the cameras. I'll say, like I'd rather be that motherfucker behind the scene. Like I think I told somebody that your people like Jay Prince and Gotti, not Yo Gotti, but I can't think of the other guy, but up there in New York, and like these people that you know what they look like if you Google them, but you never really know who the fuck they are, but you know that they're people's big homies. You know that they're the big homies. You know, like when Meek Mill and Drake were beefing with each other. Rick Ross. This came out of Rick Ross's memoir. He said that he reached out to Drake's big homie Jay Prince, and they squashed it. They told them like I don't give a fuck. Like, hey kids, go sit down, go to your corners, cut it out. Drake, stop it. You hit too hard. Stop it. He's crying now. And they pretty much cut it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to be that person where I'm completely out of that shit. But if you need me, I can tell these kids to calm that shit down. But
And
I
I mean,
mean,
it's very possible. You can definitely do that. It's just like the paparazzi, them always knowing your business. Like ASAP Rocky and Rihanna were out and about the other day, and they just had cameras all in their face. And I mean, like it's a privacy thing. The people
oh
being
yeah, because
on
they didn't let them in the
vacation,
club or some shit like that.
yeah, people being on vacation, and you could just see them posted like from afar, little pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, like how much money? And then I thought about this last time. I'm like, bro, how much money? Like, where did they get this money from to fund these paparazzis? Like, the
TMZ.
government always wants to claim that they are in debt and they going broke and all that other type of stuff like that. But I'm like, bro, like, is it because y'all funding the paparazzi? Who are you giving this money to? How do y'all make so much money from
I mean,
this?
you got to think about it. I mean, what can you put out there? You're the government, the man, whoever the fuck. You know, what can you put out there that's gonna make people not pay attention to the other shit that's going on? Some bullshit about some bullshit, and it's like like sometimes I'll go on certain news networks like I'll say CNN. I'm not the shit on CNN, but CNN is the one I used to go to. I go on CNN and I'll see a headline one day about COVID, and then the next day I'll see a headline and it's always like rapper ASAP Rocky not allowed in club. Did the bouncers not know who he was? Breaking news. Why the fuck is that a headline? Why is that a headline of everything going on in the world right now? You are headlining me that rapper ASAP Rocky did not get let into the club. I can give two fucks about that. It's really not that serious, but I feel like it catches the eye. It caught my fucking eye. So it's like, God damn it. Now I didn't see what happened with COVID today. So, it just I feel like that's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put out there the shit that is just not important. And unfortunately it's gonna draw our attention in and we're gonna be more worried about, Tiger Woods affairs than what's happening in the Middle East.
Or what's going on with Flint. I actually speak with people, have
Yes.
spoken with some of my
Yes.
followers in Flint, and I said, how's the water condition? They said it's still bad. And I'm like, why'd they stop reporting on it? Why would you report on it in the beginning if you're not gonna keep reporting on it like forever until it gets better? Why that's why I don't understand. Why report on it in the beginning, but after a while nobody cares to report?
Because it was hot. It was hot. It was like the news story. It was just like with the shit that was happening after Katrina. People thought that, it was like, a couple months after Katrina, people kind of forgot about Katrina, but New Orleans residents were displaced around the country and are still displaced. Like I met so many people, my brother being one of them, and his family. So, it's like, I think it's hot and then it's not. The next thing happens, and I say the same shit. I talked to some people about Trump, for instance, and they're just like, well, he's just gonna try it again in 2024. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, he might. But I was like, he's not gonna win. They were just like, well, he has so many people now, and he has all these people backing him. I was like, yeah, now, but there's gonna be another bad guy in 2024. Trump is old as fuck. If we put that motherfucker back in office, he was already breaking down. Like, that was just like if we voted Bernie in office. I was scared about that. I was more so concerned on who his VP was gonna be, because I was like, he ain't gonna last. That inauguration might knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like with Trump, with the media, I feel like it's hot right now. Well, it's not. I mean, it's actually dying down. So I feel like, over time, his little followers, his little trumpets, what I like to call them, they're gonna fall away, and it's gonna be another bad guy. So nah, Trump ain't gonna be hot in 2024 if alive.
I mean, you know what? I mean, you never know. You never know. He might just move in next door to you. Hey, what's up?
You
I'm
know,
trying to get down with the crew.
hey, you know what? If Trump moved in next door to me, for real, I'd welcome that motherfucker and I'd humble him. I'd humble the fuck out of Trump. You know those pictures that were going around with Trump, and they like photoshopped him with some cornrows and
Yeah,
like had
yeah.
like a tattoo on his face? That would be his
Mm-hmm.
real life. That would
It
be. I feel
would.
like that would be the only way he would be able to get around.
Actually, when I was in Florida last month, and black folks probably gonna cancel me for saying this, part of the
Oh
cancel
shit.
culture. But I was in Florida last month, and I actually was drove by his house. Home was
Hold on.
beautiful.
I'm sorry.
I was on his.
Every crazy story starts off with that one time I was in Florida. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was driving by his house, and I was like, oh, I said, hey, Mr. Trump, and he's like, get off my lawn. So I jumped back in my car, drove off. But the home was nice. So
Hey,
I
don't get
mean,
off my line.
yeah, so with that being said, it's like, but it's like I can't say that. I can't say, hey, I enter, because I'm me personally. Now there are some very horrible people on this earth, right? Very horrible people. But I'm the type of person, I want to get down to the root cause with a lot of different things. Like if I come across a um um pedophile, I want to be like, okay, what exactly happened to you? And when you knew that there was a problem, or when you had someone tell you that there was a problem, why did you not get admitted into the hospital? Something like that. I want to talk, if Ted Bundy was still alive, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to a person who is a cannibal, but of course they're gonna be like, we're gonna be indifferent, in case they
Yeah,
try to
because
like look at me, so we're gonna be on two different sides. I want
protect
to
the
talk to
buns.
them.
Protect the buns.
I want to talk to multiple people and have a conversation with them, and figure
Yeah.
out what exactly had caused them to do that type of stuff. That's what I want to do. Like I said, that I want to actually write, because and I mean, maybe not, like, depend if it's a person who is somewhat in their right mind, in a way, because a lot of these people have mental illness, and
Yeah.
that's what drives them to do that. But someone who's in their right mind, who knew, okay, I did this because I was molested at a young age, so that spirit came out of me, someone like that, but not somebody who, like, you start talking to them and they start like trying to jump on the table and fight the imaginary person, not a person like that. But no, actually, I would like to actually do an interview with Trump one day. I want to do an interview with R. Kelly. I would like to. I'm actually going to write, and I meant to do this like 2 weeks ago, but I've been procrastinating. I'm gonna write Larry Hoover and David Bark. Well, no, David Barksdale died. Somebody else who ran with Chief Malik. So these are Chicago gangs. So I
Yeah.
want to actually write Larry Hoover and Chief Malik in prison, and I want to write Big Meech. I want to write
Wow.
I want to write different people. Oh, El Chapo, I want to write El Chapo. Like I want to actually write them and then be able to, I don't know if I can come down there to the prison, but I want to be able to talk with them. Bill Cosby. I want to write all of these different people and actually do an interview with them,
Wow.
and stuff like that. And I don't care about being, honey, I get canceled every other month. So I don't really care
That
about that.
yeah, that whole cancel culture shit. I feel like it's so toxic. It's so toxic, and I feel like there are certain things that get brought up that yes they need to be addressed and things need to be done, but then there are other things that people get passes for, and I feel like like if you're gonna cancel people, like be across the board about that shit and don't give people passes for it.
Hmm.
Don't be circumstantial with it, situational. I'll say, you just you gotta be real. You gotta be flat out with it. And that idea that you have, I think that's amazing. Honestly, like I think that if there was more exposed about things like that, like even the ones that you were talking about, like the gangsters, like Big Meech and Larry Hoover, like those are names that excuse me, we all know, but at the same time, do we really know unless you are like truly from that place, which is a very small population of the world, I mean of the country, out of the people that actually know about these names. So I think that that's really important. I mean, that's best of luck to you with that. Definitely, I feel like shit. I mean, if I was in jail and somebody wrote me, and I know I ain't getting out, and somebody wrote me and they want to know, shit, I ain't got nothing but time. What would you like to know, miss?
Oh no,
You
of
know what I'm
course I'm
saying?
gonna let them know that. I'm like, bro, like, I'll tell Larry Hoover, bro, you gonna be in here, forever. Might as well tell the truth. I mean, nothing can incriminate you now, right? So I'm gonna let him know that, and I'm gonna be like, bro. My other question be like, bro, you've been married like for what 40 years now, and you probably were only with her for 5 out of those 40 years, and out there in the streets. Why are y'all still married? Okay, let free that woman. You know she probably out cheating on you with other guys, right? I'm gonna break it hard to him. So
Hey,
I really want to do that. Like, I feel like that will, really turn up and everything. But the way I interview is, I don't interview for like, to try to be like Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams will
mhm.
sit here and say, "So yeah, tell me the time that you like, got kicked out of your mom's house like a few years ago." I don't do that. I just literally I stay away from that. I don't really, because I feel like that to me makes you a messy interviewer. I don't have time. I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that.
Don't nobody like a
That's not
messy
my
interview.
forte.
I mean,
Because I feel
it's,
like that comes back on you, and in
exactly.
multiple ways and stuff like that.
I feel like I'm only gonna talk to people about the shit that I'm only gonna feel okay talking to people about the shit that they talk about. So if they are openly in a song talking about some shit, unless it's like something like if it's something super personal, I'm not necessarily gonna be like, yo, something about that one time you said your homie died and you were right there in front of it. Like, how did you
Mm-hmm.
feel? Like, I'm not saying that shit, but I might ask a question. Okay, how was it growing up in this area? How was that? And if they decide to go into that deeper story, then that is on them. Even with like charges, all the shit like that. Like if a rapper's, saying that they are blood and then da 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 da, then yeah, I'm not necessarily gonna ask you about your gang activity, like tell me what you do. But when I ask you about, where you came up and how was your upbringing, I mean, unless unless you're trying to distance yourself from that shit, I'm gonna expect something to be mentioned because why are you having it in your raps, but you don't say it no, it's not nowhere else. And there was an artist that I talked to yesterday. I actually just had a conversation with him just on some other business, but there's a really dope cat out here in Sacramento by the name of Maintain, and I'm actually gonna be doing an interview with him later on. But he um, he was saying that these days there are so many rappers that are not like the rapper and the person are two different people. He was like, and that's not how it should be. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
the rapper and the person should be the exact same people, because the shit that you're putting out there, if it's not that, then it's lies, it's cap, it's bullshit. Is that what they say these days?
Mm-hmm.
Cap. It's bullshit.
Honey,
So
it's something new that they say every other day. I ain't got time for that. I just
I,
mm-mm.
I heard a kid the
Mm-mm.
other day. I heard a kid the other day. I was walking down the street. They motherfucker said, "Man, Man, you stupid as a stump. And I was like, that was an old ass statement. I was like,
What?
I ain't heard that. I was like, okay, that sounds like some old head shit. And then it was
Mm-mm.
like, oh man, you grass. And I was like, the fuck is grass? And I was like, hold on. I was like, you stupid as a stump. And then his response was, you grass.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, was that their way of saying like your ass? Like,
They probably
but
that's
not
probably them,
cursing?
I guess they censored themselves, honey. I guess yeah.
I don't even know. I
Crazy.
don't even know. But either way, I really appreciate this conversation. This was like I said, super unexpected because I wasn't expecting for to have my first comedian on the show. So I definitely
Hey,
appreciate
broke
you.
that virginity. Woo woo.
You know what I'm saying? Popped a little comedian cherry. I'm about to go home and tell my mom. And
Yeah, let her know. Let her know that you had Kendra Crump, and when I make it eventually, she's like, you remember that Kendra Crump? Hey, can you get in contact with her? Ma, I don't know. She's a little famous now. She might not talk to me no more. No, just hit my
hey,
DM. And I mean, I
for
remember.
sure.
I have memory like an elephant. If you did really good with me, and I didn't have any issues with you, cool. Just look, the chat, the DM chat's gonna stay the same. I mean, they do like I think every now and again they might refresh and delete, but you this was positive energy. We flowed, man. It was great. It's
Hey,
great.
I'm definitely gonna keep the information. I mean, I'll keep the communication alive. We definitely got to do this again soon. And once again, I definitely appreciate you coming in. Thank you for everybody who tapped in today. This is Clue the motherfucking Don and the beautiful, amazing comedian Kendra Crump. Thank you for coming on the show. Thankful Fridays, Black Wall Music Podcast. We out.